Well, hi everybody, Jason with Happy Tales here. I got Beth on the other side filming. So today what we're going to kind of talk about is we're going to try something new. I'll be 100% honest here. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. And that is this guy right here. That is our kitchen faucet. And really, we kind of enjoy it. It works. It serves its purpose. It does exactly what it's intended to do. Problem is when it's cold out, our water heater is all the way in the nose of the camper, and it takes an incredibly long time for hot water to get here. So what we're doing is we're ended up wasting a lot of water just waiting for the thing to heat up. A lot of times what we'll do is while we're waiting, we'll fill our Brita filter. You know, we'll try to utilize as much of that water without it going down the drain, but still a lot goes down the drain. So what I did is I ordered one of these guys. This is kind of an inline water heater, and we're going to show you how we're going to install it. We're going to try it out. We're going to see if it works, and if it does work, then later down the road we'll give you a kind of a follow-up video on it. So I'll just open this guy up real quick. Pretty simple. Obviously we'll have the link for this down in our store page for you and in the description, but has some pretty simple instructions here. Okay, and this is the guy. Okay, so we're gonna have water coming in here and water coming out here. Basically it'll mount underneath the faucet, and we'll rigid mount it. We'll have the existing line coming into the bottom here. I did have to buy I'll grab it here real quick. I did buy just I think it's a 30-inch, yep, 30-inch, half-inch line, and really it's only because we have a hard line here and we have PEX down here, so I wanted something a little bit of flexibility, and that's probably exactly how I'll have it mounted underneath here. Don't worry, we'll show you the install, kind of show you how we put it in. And this is the front, on and off. Now, my concern is that this guy is rated for, it's a 3,000 watt heater. Long story short, I think that's too much pull on what we have, but we're gonna try it, and we're gonna see if we mess anything up, but we should be okay. I've talked to some other people that have actually done this, and they said they have had okay luck with it. Again, we'll try it, and we'll let you know. So we're going to kind of crawl underneath this. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about hard lines versus not hard lines and how we're going to mount it up. Okay, so for temporary, I'm just going to kind of bring the electric here. I've got a couple outlets right down here that we will just plug into. One is a GFCI. Obviously, that's what I want most importantly. So without further ado, we'll jump down underneath here and we'll start mounting this guy up. All right, so we are underneath our kitchen sink here, and our lines come up here. Let me come around this side, it'll be a little easier. Our lines come up. We have hard PEX here, goes into a turnoff valve, and then goes up here to the flex, and then up to the hard line there that you can see on the back. So what we'll do is we'll pop it off here, we'll put our flex there, we'll bring this guy down here, and then we'll mount that heater right here. We'll just put a light little screw in. There's not much there. Basically, we're just wanting to hold that thing in place. And then what we'll do is, like I said, we'll bring that wire up here, we'll plug into this GFCI, and we're just going to make sure that that is going to work. Like I said, it's temporary, and it should work okay. Like I said, my concern is the heat, and we're going to see if this thing works. It could be a total epic failure, but probably not. We'll see. Time will tell. Again, we're just going to kind of put this guy in. There's not enough room here to really film it going in, but I'll kind of show you the steps and how we go through it. Alrighty, see you in a few. Okay, so you can see here on the display that this is in Celsius. We're at 46 degrees Celsius. Water in, water out through this guy. And then this is our power that comes down. And I do have it routed down this guy. And we'll talk about that here. Before, we used to come up here into this GFCI. Now, as you see, I'm in a different shirt and everything. What has happened is we had this installed about 3 weeks ago, and we wanted to really try it out before we publish this video, see if this thing was really going to work, or if it was, like we said, a total flop. Turns out this thing was great. It has definitely fulfilled our wants and our needs. We now don't have to wait for hot water. It literally turns on within, what would you say, Beth, 10 seconds?
10.
We have hot water, so it's fantastic. Now, a couple disclaimers that we did find out about. If you're sitting here and you're washing dishes and you shut it off and you go to rinse and you turn them back on, it does get extremely hot. It does get scalding hot for about 2 seconds. So please, disclaimer, I just want you all to know to be very careful of that, because you will scald yourself. You will give yourself some high temp burns. So buyer beware. That is the one negative that we have found out. And like I said, it comes on, gets real hot, then it backs off, and you know, then it's manageable. So what we do is we kind of keep this guy right about in the middle, because there is no adjustment on, it's either on or off on this water heater. As I said, you saw in the underside of this, it's all in Celsius. The little blue light that was on, that is the on and off button. Now, going back to this guy here, this is our GFCI here. I'll have Beth kind of zoom in so you guys can actually see that it has the test and the reset and everything. That is where we had it plugged in. We had that guy plugged in for weeks there. It was fantastic because, you know, it was protected. As I stated earlier in this video, I was concerned about the big wattage and it possibly pulling the 30 amps. It never did. It never tripped the breaker. The cord never got hot. The wiring never got hot because the wiring actually runs down here on the inside, so I could actually feel it. I monitored this thing for weeks and we never had a problem. Now, the other nice thing is I'll kind of have Beth show you these cabinets here, or drawers. Skinny drawer, big drawer. What is the special of that big drawer? Well, this unit is prepped for a dishwasher. So that means two things. It means that not only am I plumbed for it, but I'm also wired for it. So I had a dedicated outlet underneath this drawer for a dishwasher. Well, obviously I'm not using a dishwasher because we have a drawer there. And so that's where I routed my wire to, plugged right in. I didn't have to do any modifications to any wiring whatsoever. And that's in the RV world, that's a win in our book. So long story short, we really love this guy. I recommend it to anybody that has a problem getting temperature from one spot all the way to the other. Had we put this in our 390, the Solitude, that thing would have been fantastic. It would have gone, you know, because same problem. Our kitchen sink was all the way at the tail end of the unit, and the water heater was up here, almost at the front of the camper. So that would have been prime because we had the same problem. So highly recommend it. If you guys got any questions or anything, let us know. Again, it's just a plug and play. You basically have to have a 110 power to it, and you have your water in, your water out. So the only thing additionally we had to buy, like I stated earlier, was that 30-inch, half-inch line to go from male to male. And that's it. So if you guys got any questions, let us know. If not, once again, thank you very much for watching our videos, and we'll see you guys next week. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.